The smartest person in the room just spilled coffee all over themselves, and your brain does something strange. And you like them more because of it. And this is one of the weirdest findings in social psychology. And it's called the Pratfall Effect. And once you understand how it actually works, it changes the way you show up in almost every situation that matters. And in 1966, a social psychologist named Elliot Aronson designed one of the simplest experiments in the history of psychology. He recorded a man pretending to try out for a quiz show on audio tape. And on the first tape was clearly brilliant. And he answered about 92% of extremely difficult questions correctly. He mentioned being an honor student and editor of his school yearbook. And on a second tape, the same man was average. He got about 30% of the questions right, nothing impressive. And then Aronson made 2 more versions of each tape. And in those versions, near the end of the interview, you hear a small commotion, a clatter of coffee cups. And the man gives an awkward laugh and says, "Oh my goodness, I've spilled coffee all over my new suit." That's it, a small, humiliating moment. And a pratfall. And Aronson played these 4 recordings to different groups of people and posed a simple question: how much do you like this person? This is what he anticipated. The brilliant man would be considered the most likable regardless. And people favor people who appear composed, but the results indicated something different. And the brilliant man who remained perfectly composed came in second place, but the same man, now with coffee spilled all over himself, came in first by a considerable margin. He was liked more than the polished, competent, non-spilling version of himself. And one small embarrassing moment made a smart man more likable than he was without it. Aronson termed this the Pratfall Effect. And here is what is truly occurring under the surface. When someone seems perfect, your brain doesn't recognize them as a person, but rather as an object, like a statue or a picture on the wall. You can admire a statue, but you cannot relate with it. Perfection causes separation, and a small noticeable flaw does the reverse. And it sends a subtle cue to the other person's brain that indicates this is a genuine human, not an act. That cue reduces the social obstacle almost immediately, and it makes an impressive person feel approachable, and approachable people are the ones you truly like. However, here is where most people overlook the point, and where the Pratfall effect becomes truly interesting. And it isn't effective for everyone. In Aronson's initial experiment, the average man, the one who answered only 30% of the questions correctly, was considered the least appealing of all 4 versions when he spilled his coffee, and less appealing than the version where he didn't spill it at all. If someone is already unremarkable and then commits a noticeable mistake, you don't find them the more human people are, the more pathetic you might find them. And the Pratfall effect does have a requirement. And to initially be regarded as capable. If someone is on a high level, a stumble appears as humanity. And for someone who is not doing so well, the same stumble looks like confirmation. And vulnerability without value is not appealing. It is simply a weakness. There's also another condition. The pratfall must be genuine. And people are remarkably skilled at spotting artificial vulnerability. And if you practice a self-deprecating phrase to appear modest, if you create a slight error to seem relatable, the audience senses it, and the result is reversed. And the initial study was successful since the coffee spills seemed like a legitimate accident, and the smart man wasn't faking it, he was truly ashamed. That authenticity is the key factor. And false modesty appears in the brain the same as false perfection does. It comes off as an act, and the social wall immediately goes back up. And Jennifer Lawrence fell on her way to receive her Oscar in 2013. The internet didn't make fun of her, it adored her. And she had just received Best Actress. She was already at the summit. The stumble didn't drag her down, it drew her closer. And demonstrate your talent first, allow yourself to be genuine next. People don't truly desire to be near flawlessness. They aspire to be near someone capable enough to respect and authentic enough to believe. The instant you cease refining every aspect of who you are, the instant you permit the minor flaws to surface atop genuine merit, you transform into something very few individuals in the world truly are. You become someone who can be cherished, not merely admired, and those are the individuals the remainder of the world always remembers.